Today's featured advertiser is eXp Realty Natchez.
Okay, we are going to talk just briefly about what it is taking to get this store back up and running. The Royal We. I founded the Royal We in 2003. I ran it. It was a wildly successful business up to 2019 when I owner financed it for someone for them to purchase from me. And as we all now know, I have repossessed the store. Again, that doesn't go against non-disclosure because liens are in the public domain, they're public knowledge, defaults are in the public domain, judgments, like tax judgments, are in the public domain. So all of that's in the public domain. So that's nothing, those are not details that are private. They're out there for everybody to see, and we all know that I'm taking the store back. So I just wanted to kind of go over what it looks like and all the moving pieces that we're having to juggle right now so that you understand what it takes to set up a retail store. Somebody the other day, Erin Nickerson, a friend of mine, is about to go into business, and she said, what are your rules for business? I watched you be successful for so many years, and then this has gone badly. So how did you stay in business for so long in a very difficult industry? And I would say my rules for business are, number one, pay everyone else first before you take a penny for yourself. For the first 7 years I owned the business, I didn't technically take any money for myself. I didn't start paying myself a salary for the first 7 years. Now that doesn't mean I wouldn't, I didn't occasionally 1099 myself a little bit of money at the end of the year. And the way that my corporation is set up, anything that the company made at the end of the year counted as my income. But it was 7 years before I made a penny. So pay everybody else first. Pay your sales tax first. Pay your vendors first. Pay your employees first. Pay your utilities first. And buy new inventory first before you start taking money for yourself. The second one is always treat your customers ethically. I do not believe in the little mantra, the customer is always right. That's not the whole sentence. It's actually like the customer is always right when it comes to their sense of style or something like that. But it doesn't mean that they're always right in business. When you are in retail, people will get crazy. People will get absolutely nutty about crazy things. You have to find that fine line between acquiescing too much so that it damages your business and being too stubborn that it damages your business. And I learned very early on that if you just deal with everybody ethically and honestly, you price things appropriately, you tell the truth. If you mess up, you take ownership of that mistake and say, that was me, I forgot to place the order, or whatever it is. If you operate by those two principles, you're going to be really successful in business. Now, there are other small things like knowing your client, knowing your market, knowing your competitor. You have to know your competitor so you know against what you are competing. You have to know how to market. Anyway, there are so many other things, but the two biggest things on having a successful business are pay everybody else first. Kevin's mind rolling right outside the window. And treat your customer ethically. So that being said, let's talk about all the things that I'm having to do right now to try to get this store up and running by September the 1st. It would have been really gracious of the person who defaulted to admit that the default was coming like at the beginning of July or even the beginning of June, and just say, I've got to go, here it is back, so that we would have time to prepare. But that didn't happen. So we're dealing with this the best that we can deal with it. There are two big seasons in this industry. There's homecoming season, which is basically August, September, and some of October, and then there's prom season. And you have to have a good homecoming season to support your prom season. So we've got to get open by September. So what does getting open look like? I'm sure to most of you, you think it looks like, well, you're just gonna get dresses in the store and you're ready to go, right? Let's talk about all the things that you don't even think about having to have to make a store run. There's not a pen or a piece of paper in that store. Not a pen or a piece, not a stapler, not a hole punch, not a dress tag, not a price tag, not a pricing gun, not the little plastic things that go in the dresses to hold the price tags to the dresses. There isn't a hanger, a wooden hanger for a display or a plastic hanger to give to my clients as they leave. There isn't a dress bag, be it breathable or plastic. There isn't toilet paper in the bathroom. There isn't a point of sale system. There wasn't electricity, water, internet, phone, gas. Beyond that, very, very fortunately, I have a corporation that has an EIN and a sales and use tax number. My corporation was formed in 2003. I've had a sales and use tax number since then, so I don't have to worry about getting through all that paperwork, which can be a very lengthy process. I've got to call the state of Arkansas, make sure I can still use that same sales and use tax number, but I think they'll let me do that. And then there's cleaning the store. There's water and mold damage in this location that we're having to repair. There's marketing that has to be done. There's a whole marketing campaign that has to be done. The former owner let the website expire. And then we've got inventory that we've got to come up with. Like, I don't have an earring. I don't have an earring holder or an earring stand for display. I don't have, there's nothing. There's nothing in that store. And so there's not a mannequin. There's not a single mannequin in the store to put a dress on. I'm having to buy back from the bank the chandeliers that were in the store. I know a lot of you had questions about that. Well, wait, if you owner financed it, why did the bank get to come in and take some things? And this is also, these liens are public knowledge. All you have to know is the name of the person that I sold the store to, and you can search public knowledge liens. So right after COVID, the person I sold the store to came to me and said, hey, I really need some cash flow money. I need to get a line of credit at the bank, but they won't give me a line of credit with your UCC filed as the first lien holder. Would you subordinate? And she gave me this dollar amount that she was going to get, and it was very low. And I was like, oh, sure, if something happens and you default and I default and you default to me, if you default to the bank and to me, they can take that amount of money. There'll still be tons of stuff left in the store. It'll be no problem. Well, over the last 3.5 years, that line of credit has exploded into a huge loan. So by the time I subordinated, the bank came in and took all of their stuff. It left nothing in the store but the things that I had built in. And thank God, when I designed that store, I built in the dress racks and the jewelry displays and the stage and the mirrors and the front desk. They're attached to the building, or those would all be gone too. So I had to buy the chandeliers back from the bank. I could buy the mannequins back from the bank, but it wasn't happening fast enough, so I had to buy new mannequins. One thing the bank did, and this is supposed to be a community bank, that really I thought was badly done. Once they took everything that was theirs, anything they didn't want should have automatically been mine to deal with, because I'm the secondary lien holder. I also had a UCC on the FFE, which is fixtures, fittings, and equipment. So anything in that store that they didn't want, they should have just left in place. Instead, they told the defaulting borrower that she could just throw it in the trash. In that trash were tons of things that were useful to me. Dress tags, price tags, all kinds of things that should have been mine, should have just gone to me. And the bank, I don't think the bank, we're in talks with our attorney about whether or not the bank had the right to tell the owner they could throw everything else away. Anyway, something really nasty that happened. This is just kind of how it's going. So they threw everything away that should have come to me. We found out they were throwing things away. We went and got them out of the trash, and the defaulting party's mother filmed us taking things out of the trash and posted that video on her social media with a laughing face and a dumpster fire picture and a really hateful little song. And she's like pinned it to the top of her Facebook page.
Dumpster diving in my neighborhood. Many times I come up with something good. Dumpster diving, I do it best, knowing that each dive might yield a treasure chest. Dumpster diving, it fills a great need for a hungry family that I must feed. Dumpster diving, this is no jive. I go dumpster diving just to stay alive. Yeah.
That's not a bad look for me. I just want to be clear that that's not a bad look. Reclaiming my property, my own property, that should not have been thrown away because someone defaulted, is not a bad look for me at all. The dumpster fire is not me. Anyway, that's where we are, and that's what I'm trying to get done and set up in 30 days in the hopes that we can get this business back up and going before we miss an entire season. So be praying for our sister, because she is, well, I told Kevin I'm back on the bottle being Pepto-Bismol. There you go.
I'm Tammy Pack.
I'm Jason Ball.
I'm Marla Toman, and we're eXp Realty, Natchez, Mississippi. Why buy Natchez? We have beautiful, affordable homes, gorgeous cottages like the one we're in today, with an average sold square foot price of just over half the national average.
Natchez has small town southern charm.
And front porch vibes. Our Restoration Nation, are you looking for a project?
Well, the state of Mississippi offers historic tax credits.
And it doesn't even have to be on a commercial building. It can be your personal residence. Wes and I just got our check.
Why buy Natchez?
It's the oldest city
On the highest bluff,
on the mightiest river in America. If you want to see all the beautiful listings in Natchez, follow us on Facebook.
Other things about how the store and having to repossess the store is really impacting our world. Again, I want to be very clear. This is never something I ever thought I would be doing, wanted to do. We pretty grossly undervalued the store when we sold it in an effort to move it quickly because I wanted out of it because we were moving on and doing other things. So I never thought I would be back in this business. I'm not going to say I'm not looking forward to it because I have a lot of clients that I love and adore and I can't wait to see, but it's not something we planned, and it is really going to kind of heavily impact the progress at Hope for two reasons. A, I'm going to be gone a lot and Kevin's going to be gone some. So we won't be here as much to watch what's going on, which invariably is going to slow things down. But two, it costs a huge amount of money to open a store. It costs a huge amount of money, an enormous amount of money to open a store. So we have, of course, our financing for the main construction with Concordia Bank. They've been so wonderful to work with us. But we had money that we were holding for like the finishes to do murals and cabinetry and tubs and toilets and that kind of stuff. And that money is now having to be used to restart the store. So that it's just going to impact how we financially handle all of this. So yeah, it's a lot. It's a whole lot. On a lot of different levels, and it's affecting everything. So, again, bear with. Let's go play auction. That'll be fun. Okay, this is following up to our how to do online auctions lesson yesterday. So I just got a text on my little Pahone telling me that I have been outbid on my item. And it tells me how much I have to increase my bid to become the high bidder on the item. So we're gonna pop over here. We're gonna hit our text. We're going to take it and see. So it wants me to raise my bid to $375. I'm not real sure I want to do that. But Owen's Auction House sent me a little texty message to tell me I'd been outbid on my phone. Ping! So there's your online auction lesson for the day. So it kind of helps you as the auction is progressing to kind of get in your mind, what do I want to spend on this? What is my top dollar? What point do I not want to pass? So that you don't get caught up in the emotion of that very last minute back and forth and back and forth and back and forth with one bidder and end up spending like $600 on a little vanity that's worth $50 at an auction because you and one other woman wanted it real bad and you just wanted to paint it pink and put it in your antique booth like I did one time a long time ago.
Hey Ted, you just hanging out? Feels good inside, but I gotta see what's outside. Is that the plan? Is that what's happening? Keeping these dogs from coming back in. Seems like the plan. Yep, just chilling. Just chilling. Hey bud. Hey bud. Bean, did you pull up the rear? Good boy, Stanny.